Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the L.A. Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw, Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 23 yards the pickup there. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins now. We're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd and a couple. Another carry now for Madison. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Play fake. Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Joseph's got it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Joseph now to kick this one away. Here's Darius Davis on the return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Allen's got it complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7. Herbert now. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. 7 yards there and a first down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Josh Palmer high in the air to bring it in. And the Chargers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Draw play, Madison. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. And that'll bring up second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Going to run with Madison again. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 38-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Play action now. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 3rd down. They need to get to the 28 for a first. Cousins to throw it. That is caught. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. After the turnover, here's Herbert. He's going to air one out. Oh, leap it. He will make the catch. It's a gain of 34.
As we've seen over the years, offensive coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover, put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Back to throw here, Herbert. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for the Pro Bowl wideout Keenan Allen there, and it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Herbert back to the air. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Now 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. Brandon Powell deep from Minnesota. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Now Cousins. Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as the tackle made up around the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. This one caught by Osborne, right side. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne, 36 yards. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing, because now that they have the lead, if they can carry half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Third and 4. Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Herbert. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Back to throw. Herbert. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert, a quick throw there is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Herbert, throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. First down, here's Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Cousins now from the 50. Complete to Addison on the out route. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 more there and another first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Here's Madison running left. He'll get this down to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Now Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Herbert, a little short pass. This is Everett. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Herbert on 1st down now. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 35, here's 2nd and a yard. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Eckler's long been one of the most underrated players in the NFL, but he's now starting to get his due. 915 yards, a career best last season, with 13 touchdowns on the ground.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Back to throw. Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen with a touchdown reception from Justin Herbert. And the Chargers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect the lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day one of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Throwing is Cousins. He'll find Osborne here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On the handoff, it's Madison. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Throwing, Cousins. Pass caught here by Osborne. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 25-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. first down throw for Cousins. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down. They needed 3. They got 6. Plenty enough for the conversion on 4th.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
And touchdown and congratulations and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Herbert. That's caught by Palmer. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Herbert going to throw. And that's caught by Williams. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now 2nd and 4. Herbert. It's complete to Williams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Now Herbert. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Chargers going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now out comes Minnesota. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I'd take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That is incomplete. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 83 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. Pass complete to Addison. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
Here's Madison getting it again on second. And they'll be yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And the Vikings are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Madison. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Good work there, holding them out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Second and goal from the 1. Trying the power game with Ham. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. C.J. Ham. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with a smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Herbert now. And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down.
And that's one you might look back on as being a turning point. If he holds on to that, this game's over. But that's going to give this offense a second lease on life, and you can't afford to do that here in overtime.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Herbert to throw. That's taken in by Palmer.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Two yards still to go. Third down now. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Eckler, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. Marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the Vikings' 26-yard line.
Now 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line. Running on 1st down, Eckler. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 yards on the carry there, a good run, and now 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. It's a 1-yard touchdown run.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker, and that will tie us at 24. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 5. Cousins to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Cousins now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Cousins, meanwhile, throwing complete there to Hawkinson. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 26. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. Here's Madison running on first down. Down to the 22-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime.